Hello again, everybody. We have a three-player game going back to France, which has been quite popular in our games recently. And it's me, amitss1, and JVis. JVis has come really close to beating me in our two-player games recently. He keeps getting better. He's learning. And in the multis also, JVis is learning. Alright, I need to think. What's my build with the three here? I will never do triple Paris in three-player, I can tell you that. Because the available plants on the second turn for a three-player game are awful. That alone means... Never mind. Okay, false alarm. We're going to reset this, and actually we're going to do a four-player game with these three players right here. And Polar Express, who offered to join and make it four, which is the preferred number of players for Power Grid. Most veterans, a lot of the veterans consider four-player to be the ideal format for this game. So here we go, four-player on France. I never played with Polar Express before. Ooh, that's a really strong win rate, actually. Really strong win rate. 49% is great. So this will be interesting. Masta was warning us, though, that Polar Express is a slow player. Hopefully that doesn't bog down the game too bad. All right. Okay, so this map. This is a nice one for the four. I'll definitely pay it for this. Because I feel like, especially if the player who gets plant 3 does the triple Paris build, which is viable, very much viable in four-player. Because in four-player, if you do a triple build to start, you can at least buy the 10 on the second turn, which is fine. In the three-player game, you don't even get the option of the 10, because not enough people have bought plants to move the market that far. That's why I never do a triple build start in three-player. Wow, we're going up to 10 buckaroos for the four. All right. I'm dropping out of this here. I don't see this getting to 11. I've never seen the four go for 11 in any game. So Polar Express apparently might have a shitty internet connection and is slow. We'll have to be on the lookout for that. Well, I will definitely bid 5 for the 3 plant then. I think Polar might pay 6 for it. I would not be shocked to see that happen. There it is. I'm not paying 7. All right. So both those plants going for very high prices, the 3 and the 4. On France, that might be a little overblown. Definitely makes me want to go for the 5, though, over the 8. Emmy even bids extra. I think I might lean toward the 9 here, actually. Normally, I'm not a fan of the 9, of taking the 9 over the 8 for a starting plant in 4-player. Here, though, I think it's warranted because I could very well see at least 2 of the other players building 2 cities. I think there's going to be a triple Paris build, and I could also see like a Carcassonne-Montpellier build here as a possibility. So I should hopefully be able to get a pretty good spot in the turn order here. Plus, this way more plants will be bought because with the 8 not being bought, everyone will likely buy a plant on turn 2, especially with these plants showing on the market right now. These are some pretty good ones. 22 it's a very nice plant for turn 2, as is 11, obviously. 10 is okay. And if the market shuts down completely, 8 is still acceptable if you're low in the turn order. And Polar Express did the right thing. So when someone starts with the 9, you want to buy 3 oil with the plant 3. Okay, so Polar only does the 1 build in Carcassonne. I'm not as big a fan of that. Personally, if you're going to 1 build in that area, I do Montpellier, yeah, what JVis did. The problem is, I don't like him building one there. I think if you're going to build next to him, you need to build Montpellier and Nimes. Otherwise, Polar is going to jump you into Nimes here. Interesting that... Oh man, everybody's building one now. You know what this means? You know what this means? I can't believe I'm getting this build as last player, but... Ooh, you know what I can do, actually? You know what I can do? I can do Orleans and double Paris. Ooh, that's an option. 10 plus 70 is 70. Yeah, I have exactly enough for that. Holy shit. Sure, I'll do that. I'm not going to complain. I think this is even better than triple Paris, personally. Yeah, Orleans is really valuable in terms of connections for later in the game. 36 went under the deck, so that's a 7 plan already. Emmett actually bids for the 10. Wow, I'm getting bailed out here. Holy shit, I'm getting bailed out here. Yeah, people are bidding 12 for the 10 in this market? That shocks me. Go ahead, buddy. 16, that does a little to cool it down. I'll bid one more on this, because if the bidding gets any higher, I can't even afford to buy uranium on this plant. Hopefully JVis takes his cue from Tour and bids one more on this. There we go. Thanks. There's a problem with this plant, though. The problem with me doing... Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, you're going to bail me out? Sweet. Now, I can't... Actually, I literally have no money left in my name, so I can only power 2 cities. But I don't care. This was a very quick moving market, so... JVis, I feel, definitely lost out here paying that much for the 11, because, again, so many other good plants are showing up here. Whereas I think I definitely got the best deal there. I think... So if I had done triple Paris, I would have had a lot more flexibility with bidding on plants, and I would have been able to power all 3 cities. But I personally would much rather have Orleans and lose out on the extra what, $11 this turn. I feel like getting this city is worth that, honestly. Orleans is going to help me a lot for later game expansion. We know Amit's going to build tours for sure. Obvious second city. know, 50's under, 29 now. I mean, I'll put this up, sure. If anybody bids on it, then I'm gone. I'm out. I didn't really want this plant, but I knew people would click on it because turn 3, 27 is still a very good plant on turn 3, and it's worth a little extra bidding, as you're seeing here. We're going to lead to a game where fossil fuels are cheap, though, between 11 and 2 of the bigger green plants showing up already. That's something to watch out for. Like, 20 could be a lot better than normal in this game, potentially. Oh, this. I will bid on this, sure. I feel like we have enough of a chance of a bad drop here that this is worth some bidding. One more click. 29 comes on. Shit. I do think JVis will give this some bidding, though. But that's a plant I just wanted to lock that plant down for later in the game. Really? Really now? Oh, Amitss just must not have the money for it. Oh, I should have thought about that with the 21 bidding. Because, yeah, I could have bought this myself. JVis does not buy 29 either. That's a result of that 11 bidding on the previous turn. I was thinking that 11 might not be so hot here. This is the kind of game where bidding heavy for 11 gets you killed, when the game just throws so many better plants at you so early. Is creating some awkward situations with money, though. I don't even have enough to store an extra coal here, which sucks. I would have loved some $3 coal there. Polar Express should be able to afford this twin here, right? That's just another 10 bucks. Polar does not afford that. Interesting. Well, I'm feeling a little better now. Oh no, JVis is the one who has this city here. That's right. It's funny, we got a little we got a little hopscotch building going on here down south. And I'm expecting JVis to continue. Yeah, JVis should build there. And Amitss knows to challenge me in the build, so that's a good build for him. Definitely the right move. You wanna corner me further here. Like, this is better than building into Paris, I think, because there's only one spot left in Paris. Well, I have to pass now. And now Amit can go for 29. Amit and JVis both. Now both these players are definitely in a position to bid on 29. So it should go for a good amount of money. This is still pretty early in the game. What? 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 The fuck, JVis? I really thought 29 would be bid more. And in comes 14. Alright, well. Very odd-numbered market down at the bottom there. The all odd-number sequence. I don't like what JVis is doing going for nuclear. I mean, there wasn't too much of a choice in the matter, but it's not going to be a good direction to go in this game because with all the efficiency going around, fossil fuels are going to be cheaper than usual. Because I really want to build to 5 this turn. That's my goal. So Polar is solidifying the Western Territory, which is, I think, the right move. You concede the cheapest cities here to JVis, I think is the play. There we go. So I want to establish a lot of territory here. Ouch, and now 17. I missed a plant somewhere along the line that went under. Trying to think of which one. Like, I'd be winning this game free right now if I just passed on the damn 21 to Amit. And then I've been able to get that 29 at cost on the next turn. JVis and his gambling. Alright. Yep, just let me grab all the cheap fossil fuels now. That's what I'm doing. Personally, if I were in Emmy's position, one thing I might have done differently is I might have built Angers instead of Le Havre. Question is where Emmett goes now. Okay. Oh, if I get Paris, I'm fine with that. I'll take that. Sure. I mean, here's what I could do. I could stall here. Stall, stay bottom in the turn order. Wonder if that might not be best for me long term. But I feel like I'd rather just push my money advantage now compared to the rest. In these kinds of maps, I think Limoges is more valuable than Bordeaux. That's what I'll do. Need to catch up on money here. Well, obviously I go for 26. That's a no-brainer. Especially with all the oil I have stored. I do have one coal stored, though. Like, 20 would be okay for me if it came to that. Actually, I don't know. With 31 in the deck, I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this plant. We're actually not at too great of a risk for a stall here. We've gotten through a lot of the lower numbered plants already. 12, 15, 18, 19 are the main ones. Those are the ones left. Those are the duds. Put in one more bid on this. I'll pass now. Time to bid. JVis, you need this plant. JVis and Polar can both really use this plant right now. Well, there's one of the duds. My hope is, if I put 20 up for bid... So much of what's left in this market is coal, though. feels a little weird for me to do. I might pass this? Maybe? Maybe I might pass this. I don't think people are going to really bid for this with 31 on deck. I think I'll pass this, actually. Yep, he'll bid. I guess maybe this might be bid on just because of how cheap coal is for Polar Express at the bottom there. Maybe. But the problem is 31 is right behind it. 25 might also pop up as well. That's still potentially in the deck. That's the concern with 20 here. My problem is more just that I'm not in a good position to really bid and make use of a big plant this turn. I'd have to wait one more turn. And I think I just have to bet on the market not stalling. I think that's the best move for me at this point. God damn it. Well, Polar's going to buy it. At least it dropped when Polar had to buy this, because Polar needs a plant. And trash is cheap now. Polar will obviously buy 24. Polar's plays clearly buy 24 and keep the 10, attack that coal. Really? That kind of pisses me off, I'm not going to lie. If I'm really going to be forced to buy 24. Because 30 could still pop up at any time, too. That's a problem. That was like the last plant that was just good enough for Polar not to buy. Well, that or 28, probably. If Polar wasn't going to buy 24, then they wouldn't have bought 28 either, I assume. Yeah, I can't help but feel like Polar not buying a plant there might have been a mistake. Because now, I feel like Amit has the advantage and we need to move the market. It's just... I really thought being at the top of the turn order, I thought I'd get stuck with the 20 if I put it up for bid. Buy up coal while still below 5. I think that's an easy call for me. But my odds in this game are not looking to be the greatest now. Polar is obviously going to stay below me in turn order. That's to be expected. And JVis just builds through the south through all the cheap stuff remaining. Or at least some of it. Yep. Amit goes for that Paris as expected. Now in this spot, I can build one city. And I do think that one's probably Bordeaux. That should be my build if I build one. Yeah. Yeah. Bordeaux it is. Gets me cheaper connections all throughout the south here. This is what I'll be eyeing for step 3. I want to see what plant pops up next. As far as that goes, like, what plant do I buy next? 24 is going to make a lot of money. It's going to make a lot of money. Amitt does not need 24. I expect him to pass. And JVis I expect to pass as well. 11 still has value at this point. JVis does not really need a plant. So there's a couple ways I can go with this. But I do think the play is to pass. Make Polar eat that 24 now. I think that's the play. God damn it! The odds were against that market stall, but it's happening. And Amitt's gonna win once again. This all goes back to my bidding on that 21. I didn't stop to think that about how Amitt had 4 extra resources stored. I should have realized he didn't have much money at the time we were bidding on 21. And he had just bought 16 in the previous turn, so I should have just let 21 go there. I thought JVis would bid harder for the 29. I thought 29 was not going to go cheap if it were to be bought next turn. But that's exactly what happened, and that's why Amitt is winning this game right now. Like, there ain't shit we can do. Start buying more oil now. But I don't know what the fuck to do here. I guess if it comes down to it, I think I just have to build. If I have enough open space to build to 14 here, that's what I'm looking at. So I'll be looking at. Hoping I can get that step 2 Paris spot there. But it's probably going to be on me to move the market now. I was going to say, thank you, Polar, for not building into any of my shit. All right. Okay, I need to do math on this. So I would have to build to 6 cities to get a bad plant off the market. Do I have that much left that I can do this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can do this. Just not my game, is it? I mean, maybe 25 could still on, and that would be okay. I could live with like 25. This market's pissing me off, not gonna lie. I mean, the problem is Emmy gets good builds too. That's the issue here. But yeah. I feel like this whole game really came back to that 21 bidding. I'm just scared of that plant going cheap. I've seen too many games where we let 21 go at, for like 25 or something, and then market stalls and it just wins the game. Anyway, I'm keeping my coal stored in case 25 comes on. Only reason. I have to decide. 28's not even really going to make that much money, though. And I'll just pass again. Like, we know Amitss not going to need a plant. JVis might buy 28, though. What I'm hoping for here is that somebody buys 28. That's what I'm thinking here. I'm hoping somebody buys 28 so that 15 stays on and I can build that off. JVis does not buy 28. Polar is not going to buy it either, then. It's going to suck as everyone passes because that puts 15 out of the market, so I can't build it off. Very interesting. 12 out, and then 30. Okay. So I'm going to guess that 40 was the mystery plant, and so we are actually going to step 3. Unless Amitss just ends the game now. But I do think we've blocked builds decently enough that that's not happening. Again, I really thought like 31 was going to come on the market. 25 might come on. Turns out it's not in the game. And again, 20 was just turned out to be an amazing value. I don't regret 20 going for a low price because I just don't think you can expect 31 and 25 not to come before, at least before step 3 or at all. I just don't think you can expect that. Like, this is so stupidly lucky for the 20. All right. Mm-hmm. There goes Amit building south. He's going to win. Oh, he doesn't win. Interesting. I mean, he's just going to win next turn then. Base capacity is a problem for the rest of us. Yeah. The only issue with this is if JVis can get a 7 plant and match Amit, that would be the only thing that would keep him from winning next turn. I feel like I'm actually not in that bad of a position if the game doesn't... Oh, never mind. 25 does come. Womp womp. Never mind. This is step 3, so yeah. This is actually interesting for me now. Sort of. Please nobody bid. Please nobody bid. Nobody bid this, please. This is like the only... Because if we all get 6 plants, that's like the only way we can get back in this game. Pass. Pass. Thank you. Thank you. Sticking with 20 and 25 together. Well... We know the other 6 plants are guaranteed after this. Yay. This should still be bid up a lot. There's no 38 in the game. Trash is going to stay this cheap. Pretty much. I mean, 24 is in the game, but even still. Let's bump it up to 50. Let's skip some of the foreplay here. So what we need to consider is, at what point does this become more expensive than running 2 turns of 31 or 32? That's the part I'm looking at. So Emmett needs 2 coal on 25. If we could somehow buy out all the coal except 1, no, that's impossible. That's going to be impossible. Polar will replace the 10, so yeah. Even if Polar kept the 10, I don't think it would be possible. Like, JVis is the only one here who can match Emmett. The fact that 31's not going at cost is making me feel better. $35, I mean, compared to 30, I still feel like that's going to be a better deal. So I didn't miss I thought I'd missed a plan in my tracking, but I didn't. All right. Well, there's 1-7 in the game guaranteed, and then with enough players left in the game, another one. It's funny, is we all have 10 base capacity except for JVis. That could actually help Jay get the win if the game goes to a next turn. JVis needs to do here is not store extra coal, because I think that would push Emmett to end the game. That's the smart play. I absolutely agree with that. All right. How much trash comes in the game? 4. I'm thinking this is the right buy because 4 trash comes back into the game. That would prevent Polar from getting a $2 trash on the next turn. And Polar will want to stay below me for sure. So this means then that I can still get a $3 trash on the next turn. Okay. I think I do it this way. And we have to attack Cole for obvious reasons. Like, JVis has to build to 14 and stop there. So JVis was correct not to buy extra coal. Like, he'll still stay below Emmett for next turn and be safe with coal. In my position, like, I still think bidding for the 30 was the right move for me because there's not that many really good plants left in the step 3 market. So I need to play for a next turn. That's the only way I can do anything at all here. Yes, thank you for getting ahead of Emmett, building those cities in the southeast. That's exactly what Polar should do. Completely agree there. JVis, just stop at 14. Stop at 14. Thank you. Thank you. The question is, where do I want to go next? I don't build. Amit's probably going to end now, though. That's my thinking because, yeah, there we go. Because he didn't store any extra coal at all. I think we should have seen that coming, but there was nothing I could do to stop it. So that's last place for me. JVis gets second. Polar third. Amit's going to win it, I bet. Yep. Bingo. By a decent margin, too, considering if he built an extra 3 cities compared to JVis. Yep. That game came down to getting that 29 at cost, more than anything else, I feel. And then that cheap 20 later. Like, 20 was just one of those things where... Again, it's like... With 20, I get that coal was cheap, but... It's still tough for me to pay a lot for 20 when we see 31 right on deck, you know? And the majority of the plants left in the deck would have put it on. I didn't even notice JVis misfired. Oh, JVis didn't run the 23 for a turn. Okay, okay. Okay, that explains it. Anyway, congrats once again. Dude, Amit's been on fire in the multiplayer games lately. He's been killing it. Really, really good shit. Congrats again, Amitss, and good night.